What's going on, everyone? Thanks for logging on to 12news.com and the 12 News YouTube page. I'm Cameron Cox. I'm heading out the door for like a mini vacation. Of course, this drops when we're out at the Cardinals facility today, so we rush back in. Here are my thoughts on the Suns firing Frank Vogel. First of all, it is no surprise. Anybody who watched the Suns play this past season could say, we saw this coming. But the tone and message, man, from the Suns is just all over the place. Remember 8 days ago, owner Matt Ishbia and GM James Jones, they told us all multiple times that the Phoenix Suns are doing, quote, great in capital letters. Now today, Jones says, quote, last season was way below our expectations. You think? Stevie Wonder could see that. All that money, and they are the first team out of the playoffs. Really? Of course change was coming. Change is coming. It is here. Time together does not fix that, although it will help moving forward. Let's break it into 3 sections. First of all, the process. Folks need to really chill out on why this decision took nearly 2 weeks after the season. I get it. Everyone wanted it to come right after they lost to the T-Wolves, but that's just not reality. The Suns front office truly wanted to let the dust settle, the emotions cool off, talk to everyone involved, and then make a decision. That's how business works, folks. I'm sure they had ideas at the end of the season what was going to happen, but you can't make a plan until it's time to make a plan. Then you need feedback to help that plan, and you probably have to make some phone calls just to figure that all out. Second, the decision. This move clearly says that Frank Vogel lost the respect of the locker room and wasn't the right leader. That doesn't mean he's not a good coach, Charles Barkley. I mean, he did somehow get this team to be a top 10 defensive team, but that's a whole nother story. This just means he's not the right leader for this team and this locker room. Same reason, remember, he was moved on from in LA. This reminds me a lot of why the Cardinals moved on from Cliff Kingsbury. Great dude, but just too nice. You won't find many, if any, that'll say a bad word about Cliff the person. But Cliff the coach didn't hold players accountable. Frank the coach did not hold his star players accountable. Devin Booker said it best after they were swept. The details were missing. We'll have more on that line from Book in a moment, but that's a knock on leadership at the top. Third, what's next? Likely more changes are coming, and hopefully it is how and why this front office constructed this team to begin with. Start there. James Jones and Matt Ishbia, they failed. This is on them. They put this roster together, and it did not fit. It did not work well together whatsoever, so it's on them to fix it. The big three also have blame in this mess. Like we said, Book said the details were missing after they got swept. This is your city, your team. How do you let that happen? Kevin Durant reportedly unhappy with how the Suns used him. That came out right after they got swept. Guess what? The Suns weren't fully happy with him and his effect on the team's culture. I'll say this, it wouldn't surprise me if they try and trade KD this offseason. Then Bradley Beal, $50 million gets you 9 points in an elimination game? Come on, names that are out there. Mike Budenholzer, the Arizona guy, not a bad name, right? But wasn't he fired for the same leadership questions in Milwaukee? You could try and go give Ty Lue a few bags of money to break up with the Clippers, but relationships matter to Lue. Suns, in a tough spot. Regardless, you need a no-nonsense coach to come here that can manage 3 stars, each making $50 million. Here is the reality for the Suns, and this is no sell. This is where they're sitting. They were the first team knocked out of the playoffs with an older roster in a young man's league. The Suns will be looking for their 3rd head coach in 3 years. Book will have his 7th head coach going into his 10th season. They'll once again have one of the highest payrolls, if not the highest payroll in all of basketball, with very little wiggle room to upgrade this roster. The Phoenix Suns are doing great. Yeah, sounds like it. Those are my comments. Let me hear yours at CamCox12.